Plaintiff SHIELA Fuller says the defendant is her sister, and although SHIELA tried to keep her on the right path, social media has poisoned her brain. SHIELA claims after an argument with the defendant, she attacked SHIELA with pepper spray, so she's suing for emotional distress and pain and suffering. Defendant ZARI Fuller works as an exotic dancer, and her looks are important to her career. So on the day of the incident, SHIELA threatened to hit her with a broomstick. ZARI admits that she sprayed SHIELA with pepper spray in self-defense. Therefore, she denies owing.
Start with you.
Well, my sister here has always been under my wing. She's my little sister. I've always been like a motherly figure to her. I tried to teach her things like responsibility, you know, get her on the right path to life. And somehow, social media has poisoned her brain. All she cares about is likes, videos, shares, comments, and shaking her tail feather. And it seems like that's what rules her life.
She's not alone.
Yeah.
Well.
For her age, for her generation, how old are you?
20.
Yeah. And how old are you?
28.
Oh, you're doing almost the same thing, isn't she? She on the internet all the time? Oh, she's looking mad. She ain't gonna answer no question. All right, you suing her for pain and suffering? Yeah, she ready to fight again. So, have your parents helped raise? You act as if you were the principal
Well,
raising.
I mean, they helped raise her, but there was a moment when
They
she was
helped
about,
raise her. They primarily raised her.
I was with her a lot when my parents were working. So basically I had to grow up kind of fast to watch over my little sister, which I didn't mind. So we basically grew up together and I was raising her.
Okay.
She's been living with me for a while. I
How
allowed
long?
her to stay. Well, this time she was living with me for about 2 months.
All right. When did she first begin living with you in terms of her age or what have
Well,
you?
the first time was when she was about 17, when her and my dad were having disagreements.
What were they disagreeing about?
Cleanliness, being disrespectful, and basically her wanting to do anything that she wanted to do in his home.
All right. Was she the same when she came to stay with you?
Not at first, but then, yes.
Off and on? And she's moved in
Yeah,
off and on since 17? And from time to time is unclean and disrespectful?
It's just like sometimes. Okay. Sometimes she is, sometimes she isn't.
All right. You want to give me some background?
Well, she is my sister, and ever since she had my niece, she has tried to be more of a mom, and that's where most of the problems began. Like, she's not my mom, she's my sister, and I never know.
How long ago was that? Did she start trying to be your mom?
2013, when my niece was born.
Okay. And how old were you?
17.
And you were living at home?
Yes.
With your both parents or with your father?
No, well, you're talking about when I was 17 or the time of the
Yeah, 17, when she was trying to be your mother. When the niece was born, when you were 17, were you living with her? At age 17, did you live with her?
Not that I remember.
Okay, did she?
Yes.
You were a minor living under her roof. And even people who aren't minors, they have to follow the rules of the household in which they live in, if those rules are reasonable. Now, you can't tell a person 17 to be in at 8 p.m. You didn't do that, did you?
No.
What were your limits? Curfew.
I mean, for curfew, it was whatever her parents said. So whatever my parents said was a curfew, that was a curfew.
Even when she was living with you?
Mm-hmm.
All right, you let her go by the parents' rules and perhaps your household rules. Okay,
Yeah.
All right, sounds fair. And how did she exhibit any problems after the child was born? And why do you attribute it to that?
Just more protective and nosier. It's just like SHIELA acts as if I'm her sister when it's a good time for her. So whenever, we're having fun, we're sisters, but if she's mad at me, then she's my mom. It's one of those type of things.
Okay. All right. So why are you suing her? What happened?
Well, I'm suing her for an incident that happened in September. Me and her were having an argument because she snuck a boy in the house when I already told her there's no boys allowed. And in particular, this particular boy, I told her I didn't want him there. She claimed he was her manager and they were doing business. And he
Managing
was
what? What she
managing her stripper career. I don't know.
Okay.
She said he was the manager and he was upstairs and no one else was upstairs. And I questioned her about that. And when I did, she got defensive and got in my face, yelling at me and being disrespectful. So I felt like on that particular day, I felt like getting on her level. So I got disrespectful back with her because of the things that she was saying and how loud she was being. And then she ran away and slammed the door in my face. And after she did that, I kicked the door in. And as soon as I came into the room, I felt something wet on my face. And she pepper sprayed me.
Okay.
So after that, I couldn't see. I could barely breathe. I didn't know what was going on.
But why'd you kick the door in going after her
Because
like that?
the stuff that she was saying was very disrespectful. She was saying, well, I can do whatever I want because I pay such and such and such and such. And he could be upstairs if he want. And that was just totally disrespectful to me. And she just ran away when I was speaking.
All right. But you created a high level of fear, kicking somebody's door in while they're in there. I hope you don't do that often, ma'am. That's a lot of folks, that's the natural reaction. They kicking this door in. Oh, they're on the wild. You must be crazy. You kicking doors in on me. I'm very concerned about what you're about to do. All right. Now we'll hear your side. You're an exotic dancer. That doesn't make a difference, but is that your career?
Yes, that is my career.
You intend to expand your horizons at some point?
Yes, I'm
Okay,
hoping
what are you looking into going into?
just trying to travel and try out different clubs. That's not my home club.
Expanding your horizon beyond exotic dance.
Oh, okay, being that like actress, maybe.
Just maybe?
Maybe.
So give some thought to that. That the career doesn't take you into beyond or near middle age. When you get close to middle age, that's over. For sure, sometimes earlier, depending on your genes and your blessings. All right, just give a little thought to it. So tell me what happened here.
Well, me and my sister, we were having a verbal disagreement actually in front of our mom. And my sister, she was going through a lot at the time. I basically feel like the anger my sister was giving me wasn't towards me. She was lashing out because she had recently lost her job.
What was it about?
Having the young man upstairs.
Okay, like she said. All right. So you all were arguing about that and your mother was present?
Yes, my mother was present.
What was she saying when you all were arguing?
Just like, stop.
Okay. And then what happened?
Well, I was trying to leave the situation. So me and my sister were fussing and she stood up. You clearly see she's bigger than me. So I'm like, why are you standing up? I stood up and I, made a few smart comments. Or, you just mad because you don't have no job. And turned around and I'm running up the stairs. So
Why were you running?
Because I figured she
To
was going
avoid a confrontation?
Yeah.
All right. So you retreated.
I
That's
retreated.
what we call it in the law. Okay, go ahead.
I retreated upstairs to my room and I ran and I tried to close my door. She busted through the door, actually hit me with the broomstick. She left that part out.
You had a broomstick?
No.
Yes, she did have a broomstick, Your Honor, and it didn't even have the broom on the end because, she was that mad, ripped it off, hit me with it.
She sounds convincing. Go ahead.
So then I pepper sprayed her because I am an exotic dancer and model. I get paid based off of how I look, and she had a blunt object trying to hit me.
Ma'am, she describes self-defense. She describes trying to retreat from an attacker. She describes the attacker, by your own admission, creating the highest level of fear by kicking in a door that the person being chased has closed to avoid being harmed.
Well,
Does that sound like what she should do, or what should she have done?
I mean, the way that she speaks to people, especially
We're not talking about that. You can't respond that way from an argument or from name calling. That you can't assault someone from name calling. chase someone. You say you didn't have a broom. She says you did. I'm inclined to believe her.
I didn't
Ain't
have
got
a
no
broom
reason to
set.
throw a lie on it. You kicked in the door is enough. Go ahead, but you say because of the argument and the things she was saying, you believe you had a right to pursue her like that and kick in the door?
Yeah, the stuff that she was saying was very disrespectful. It was in front of my mother, my child, my friend. And it was very embarrassing to me the way that she was speaking to me. And then we were standing on steps and she was over top of me. So it's like she was like yelling at me. So that's what really provoked me. And then now she did that, then she ran away. So she just provoked me, then just ran away into the room. And that's why I went in after her.
Why did she run?
I guess she was
saw
scared.
you coming. Why did she close the door? Because she knew you were coming after her. That's called retreating. When there's a fight, it's the aggressor who is at fault. It's the person who starts the physical attack when there's an assault involved. And you started it clearly. You kicked in the door. Created the highest level of fear. Unfortunately, and not because I don't agree with these laws, the stand your ground laws, if she had a gun, she would have had a right to shoot you. Wow. That's why I don't agree with that law. That shouldn't have gone to that level, but yeah, many states, and I fought against that law, by the way, and campaigned in many states against it, and we won legislation to ban it in 22 states. In this case, however, it wasn't deadly force. This was what would be referred to as force that was just enough to keep you off of her. You're still walking around, you still got all your limbs, no permanent injuries. You blinking, so nothing much wrong with your eyes. You're blinking over there, and you still got pretty eyes. So I gotta dismiss your claim. That was self-defense, ma'am. And when you kick in the door, if somebody is that violent, that's a very violent act. Somebody's violent enough to kick in the door, you can be fearful enough that they're not finished kicking when they get a hold of you. You weren't going to just kick in the door and say, I'd like to talk to you about what just happened. That's not what you were going to do, is it?
No, but I mean...
I know you weren't. You was going to bust her up. Have a good day. I got to dismiss your claim. That was self-defense. Bye-bye.
That's why I beat.
Stop it.
Like
You didn't beat me. She's got a lot of growing up to do, so hopefully she can do that soon.
I don't have any growing up to do. I'm not the one who doesn't know how to keep my hands to myself.
Yeah, but
so
you need to
keep
stop
your hands to
running your
yourself.
mouth.
You won't
You
get
need to
pepper
stop
sprayed
running your
before you
mouth,
get pepper
because if
sprayed
I don't
again.
beat you up,
I
somebody
don't
else
care.
will.
Ain't nobody gonna beat me up because
Yes,
I'm
they
getting
will.
sprayed just like you.
Yes, they will.
No, they
Yes, they
won't.
will.
Okay, then do it then.
Okay.
Oh.
What do you mean?
Oh, all right.
What?
Beat me up.
Who said I wanted to beat you up?
Girl, you was trying
No,
to
I
kick the
didn't.
door.
Whatever.
Oh, all right.
Girl.